Okay, so today we need to talk about Amanda Bynes. And before anybody tightens up or thinks this is about to turn into some messy, let's drag her moment, relax. That's not what this is. This is one of those conversations where you sit down with a friend, sip your tea, and say, remember her? Because if you're anywhere near my age, Amanda Bynes wasn't just a celebrity you casually watched. She was a part of growing up. She was the funny one, the girl who didn't even have to try, the one who could make a face, flip her hair, say one line, and somehow steal the entire scene. She felt safe, familiar, like someone your mom didn't mind you watching, and someone you actually wanted to be like. And that's why her story hit so much harder than most, because Amanda wasn't supposed to crash out like this. She was supposed to be the exception, the see not all child stars end badly example, and for a long time, that's exactly what she was. Clean image, natural talent, real acting chops, zero scandal. Hollywood loved her, parents trusted her, audiences adored her. So when things started going left, it wasn't just shocking, it was uncomfortable. And honestly, a lot of us didn't know how to process it. So we laughed, scrolled, retweeted, and moved on, without realizing we were watching someone unravel in real time. What people forget is just how dominant Amanda Bynes was in her era. This wasn't a flavor of the month child star. She ran Nickelodeon, all that became her playground. The Amanda Show wasn't just popular, it was appointment television. She had range before we even used that word online the way we do now. Comedy, physical humor, characters, timing, she had all of it. And when she transitioned into movies, it actually worked. Big Fat Liar, What a Girl Wants, She's the Man, Hairspray. She didn't just show up, she carried projects. And that's important, because the narrative later became that she fell off, when in reality, she was still booking, still working, still proving herself. But here's the thing nobody really talks about. Amanda was boxed in, hard. She was stuck playing the same cute, quirky, wholesome girl over and over again, while watching other actresses her age get to grow up on screen. And that frustration, you can hear it if you listen closely to her interviews back then. She wanted to shock people. She wanted to stretch. She wanted adult roles. And Hollywood basically said, yeah, but we like you better like this. And when you're young, talented, and feel invisible in a room full of people profiting off you, that messes with your head more than people realize. This is where things start to get uncomfortable, because Amanda didn't just disappear, she didn't quietly step away. Her struggles happened loudly, publicly, and right when social media was turning celebrities into real-time entertainment. Twitter became her diary, her outlet, her megaphone, and unfortunately, her undoing. What should have been treated as clear warning signs turned into viral moments. Tweets were screenshotted, jokes were made, think pieces were rushed out, and suddenly her mental health was something people consumed between memes and trending topics. And I'll be honest, at the time, a lot of us didn't clock it for what it was. We called it erratic, we called it crazy, we said she was doing too much, but looking back now, it's painfully obvious she was spiraling. And instead of someone stepping in early and saying, hey, maybe this needs care, not cameras, the machine just kept rolling. Traffic stops, arrests, bizarre posts, confrontations, every incident became another headline, another punchline, another reason to keep watching. And that's the part that's hard to swallow. Because we weren't just bystanders, we were the audience. One of the saddest parts of Amanda's story is how quickly the conversation shifted from her talent to her behavior. Nobody was talking about her performances anymore. Nobody was asking why a young woman who once held it together so well was suddenly unraveling. It was just, did you see what she tweeted? Did you hear what she said? Did you see the mugshot? And once that switch flips in Hollywood, it's brutal. Roles disappear, calls stop coming, you're labeled difficult, unstable, unreliable, and when you're already struggling with your identity, your appearance, your self-worth, that kind of rejection hits like confirmation of every fear you already had. Amanda has since been open about her struggles with substance use, her body image issues, and how certain roles made her spiral deeper into insecurity. Imagine being praised your whole life for being funny, lovable, and cute, and then suddenly hating the way you look on screen so much that you walk away from everything. That's not drama, that's pain. And instead of compassion, she got spectacle. Then came the conservatorship. And if that word sounds familiar, it's because we've seen this story before. When things reached a breaking point, control of Amanda's life shifted into other people's hands. And I want to be clear here, this isn't about assigning villains or rewriting history. Mental mental health is complex. Families are complex. Situations like this are rarely black and white. But what is clear is that Amanda lost her autonomy at a time when she was already deeply struggling with her sense of self. And for years, the public narrative was simply, she's doing better now, as if healing is linear, as if being quiet automatically means being okay. But healing doesn't happen on a timeline, and it definitely doesn't happen just because the internet stops paying attention. When Amanda stepped back into the public eye years later, softer, calmer, clearly still figuring things out, it was a reminder that recovery isn't a comeback tour. Sometimes it's just learning how to live again without the noise. What makes Amanda's story especially heavy is that it forces us to confront how we treat young women in entertainment, especially the ones who don't fit neatly into the redemption arc we prefer. We love a comeback when it's shiny and packaged. We love a triumphant return with glowing interviews and scripted apologies, but we don't know what to do with someone who's still fragile, still healing, still unsure. Amanda didn't come back with a perfectly rebranded image. She came back human, studying fashion, drawing, trying different things, making choices people didn't always understand, and instead of allowing that space, the internet immediately went back to dissecting her every move. Is she okay? Is she relapsing? Is she doing too much? And it's like, when do we let people just exist? When do we stop demanding closure from someone whose life we only ever saw through a screen? I think what hurts the most about Amanda Bynes' story is realizing how many times this has happened before and how many times it'll probably happen again. Child stars aren't born broken. They're shaped by pressure, expectation, exploitation, and silence. They're praised for being perfect until they show cracks, and then punished for having them. Amanda wasn't weak. She wasn't ungrateful. She was overwhelmed. She was young. She was boxed in by an industry that loved what she could produce more than who she was becoming. And we played our role too, even if we didn't mean to. Because attention is currency, and the internet pays well when someone is unraveling. That's an uncomfortable truth, but it's one worth sitting with. So when I think about Amanda now, I don't think about the tweets, the headlines, or the chaos. I think about that little girl on All That who stole every scene without even trying. I think about the timing, the talent, the spark that couldn't be taught, and I hope, genuinely, that whatever her life looks like now, it's quieter, safer, and on her terms, because not every story needs a dramatic ending or a flashy comeback. Sometimes the real win is surviving something the world watched you go through and still choosing to keep going. And if there's one thing Amanda Bynes deserves, it's peace. Not commentary, not judgment, just peace.